And do you play in the rain, even if it's raining?
I've played in the dark, a sort of a nocturne, if you like.
Delightful. We've moved into a new key just to get the neighbours' hearts beats up a bit. I'm expecting any minute a bucket of boiling oil to be thrown out of one of these houses onto our heads.
Worse than boiling oil, passers-by simply ignored the entertainment in their midst. Not so Sheffield Council, who issued a removal order claiming contravention of some bossy edict they have about pianos in streets.
So this was actually slapped on the piano.
Right, so rather than they're just coming and picking it up and taking it away, they put that on saying you've had it, your chips are up.
I think they tried to take it away once, but because it's bolted to the pavement.
Oh, they couldn't.
And so the multitude arose. In a fever of indignation, the citizens of Sheffield plastered the piano with messages of support.
This one says, "Be nice and let the street piano stay." It made us grin from ear to ear with its discordant tones.
Happy to leave revolting, overflowing, maggot-infested wheelie bins in the streets for months, but removing this beautiful, happy piano instead. What is going on?
The council eventually slunk off to lick its wounds. For now, the piano stays put.
Our vision is to have a street piano on every street of every city, of every country in this world.
God, how wonderful.
That battered Sheffield upright is a far cry from this black, sleek, elite Fazioli Grand.
Oh, piss. I got nervous because the cameras were on.
Do you want to start again?
Yes, please.
It belongs to Alan Rusbridger, editor of the Guardian newspaper, who loves it dearly.
And some people go out and buy Ferraris or Porsches in their midlife. I got a Fazioli.
It was just irresistible. You went into a showroom when they had it.
Well, I went onto the internet and I found somebody in North London who was selling one, and by the time I got to him, he'd sold it. But the moment I sat down and touched it, I realised I had to have one.
You had to?
It was just a moment of blind panic. The soundboard is all handmade from the same pine wood that they made Stradivarius out of.
It's the one you're
Look at that beautiful walnut inlay. It's that kind of register, which is
absolutely beautiful.
And,
I've got one minor complaint that can be easily remedied.
Yeah.
You need some WD-40 on your,
I don't know
pedal.
I don't know where you put it.
There's
where
a
do you
squeak.
Put it? Yeah, there is
well,
a
I
squeak.
don't want to talk out of turn because Paolo Fazioli is probably watching this. We'll get in a terrible temper. Which one is it?
It's the sustaining pedal there.
Yeah, I'll just squirt a bit out there.
Yeah,
It usually goes.
Alan started playing at 6, gave up as a teenager, then suddenly felt the urge to take it up again a few years ago. Now he plays every morning before going to work.
Do you even come close to wondering which is more important, your piano or the world news?
I think that is a difficult question. You can't stifle this creativity. If you've got that creative urge inside you, you have to do it. You have to. You can't resist it.
Well, I mean, a lot of things.
Alan probably wishes he had resisted the temptation last year to play in front of a stiff audience of piano examiners.
I was back in short trousers, feeling sick. I've been editor for 10 years. I've been in the High Court with great libel battles, and there I was petrified. I was shaking. My foot was shaking. My hands were shaking. I regressed to being a child. we should never agree to play in public. I should never agree to this film.
No, I agree. Me too. We'll put it there. We should never have agreed it.
Alan is a passion fruit, an unswerving piano nut like me. I see him sitting in his vast office making important decisions about tomorrow's headlines, but all the time his heart remains at home, buried in the big belly of his Fazioli.
Bloody hell, this is contortionism.
I'm 2 weeks into learning this Godowsky piece, and it's not going especially well.
How many times are you going to go like this? When it actually says do this? Oh.
To discover what piano junkies are like en masse, I'm now off on a residential piano holiday.
You're a brand new learner, starter,
Yes.
from Zilch,
Yes.
but you're a musical person.
No.
This one's in the Malvern Hills, where I find 16 piano worshippers ranging in age from 14 to 84.
I started at grade 5 and worked through to grade 8. That was my...
In your senior years?
Yes.
And you're happy to walk into a little room with a stony-faced examiner and sit down and play scales and arpeggios?
I wasn't happy about it, but I did it.
They come from all walks of life to practice 10 hours a day for a week of sheer heaven.
Do any of you play electric keyboards?
If I feel like playing at 11 o'clock at night and my other half's gone to bed, I can put my headphones on and play.
Wonderful. And this happens?
Yes.
You feel like playing at 11 o'clock at night
Yes,
when your
quite
husband's gone to bed?
Yes.
Sending me a Valentine, birthday greetings and a bottle of wine.
So this has got anything to do with the piano. What's he doing? Go away.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, 9 o'clock, buddy lessons are starting at 9:45-ish, probably running a little late. We've got Philip doing the siren.
First off, it's busking class. Then there's a sight reading study, followed by buddy or body lessons, then duets. Here they've thought of everything.
I got so excited about the riff you told me to do.
No, don't worry about it. You weren't even there yet.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, and I thought I've got to remember to do the riff you told me last time. That moment. My biggest problem really is all my life I just play quietly to myself in my own room, and I loathe playing in front of everybody else, even these cameras.
I always take at least 6 big deep breaths before I go on before I faint. Before I go on the
Before you collapse.
There are all
have to
sorts
be
of-
wheeled off in a stretcher without playing a note. Do you think we're all a bit obsessive?
Yes, definitely.
And is there any point to it, or are we being a little bit egocentric and
Playing the
inward-looking?
piano?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
I mean, when you count up the hours you've probably spent at it, do you think it was worth it for not just for you but for everyone around you?
I think it's good for the soul, isn't it?
Personally, I do not buy into the concept of the soul, but playing the piano is as close as I can get to a feeling of otherworldliness, a dangling hypostatic state that is impossible to cast into words.
So you mustn't ever think of the piano as... That's what makes, you know... It's too boring. It's not what it's about. Maybe beginners, and I think that's what puts a lot of people off. I've never in my life met an adult person who played the piano as a child and who gave up and who doesn't deeply regret it. Ever. So you've got to push past all that rubbishy bonk, 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 accompany thing. And I think there should be ways of teaching people right from the beginning, in fact, that the tunes could be anywhere, the inner lines. And the beauty of the feeling of, you know, just, you don't have to play a piece. Just play some chords. It doesn't matter what you play. Even that ugly chord sounds pretty. I'm not just play anything. And just feel. And now allow your thumbs to take over a bit.
I have a theory that anyone can learn to play in just 1 week. I don't mean complicated concertos, but something lyrical they can enjoy.